vaccinated first, before she agrees to be immunized. So I decided to set an example.
Across Europe, elderly people have been among the most vulnerable. They've been isolated and afraid. Now, they are the first to be protected. The EU says it's secured contracts for more than 2 billion vaccine doses with various foreign companies. The hope is that next year, anyone who wants the vaccine will be able to get it.
South Africa has now registered more than 1 million cases of coronavirus since March, when the first one was recorded. Almost 27,000 people have died, making it the hardest hit country on the African continent. Health officials are dealing with a new variant of the virus, which is more infectious. The government is expected to impose tougher restrictions in the coming days. The government has sought to calm concerns that the post-Brexit deal with the European Union will damage the financial sector. From January the 1st, the industry, which employs 1 million people in banking, insurance and other services, will lose automatic access to EU markets. The Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, said anyone who had anxieties about the economic implications of the EU should be enormously reassured. Here's our political correspondent, Helen Catt.
In his first interview since the publication of the deal, the Prime Minister told the Sunday Telegraph that there had been a great government effort to develop new post-Brexit policies in areas such as animal welfare, data and chemicals. He promised that the government would use new legislative and regulatory freedoms to deliver for people who felt left behind. But he acknowledged that the deal perhaps did not go as far as he would like on financial services. The sector was worth £126 billion to the UK economy last year. The Chancellor, Rishi Sunak, sought to calm concerns.
Keep left. We can do things a bit differently, and we're embarking on that journey. For example, examining how we make the city of London the most attractive place to list new companies anywhere in the world. But this deal also provides reassurance because there's a stable regulatory cooperative framework which I think will give people that reassurance that we will remain in close dialogue with our European partners.
The centre-left think tank, the IPPR, said that the deal left workers' rights and environmental protections at risk of erosion because the bar to prove that the agreed safeguards and standards had been breached was so high that it was rarely enforced. Its analysis also said that short-term disruption to trade would lead to slower growth. The Shadow Chancellor Annalise Dodds said the deal was not strong enough.
This is a thin deal. It's not the deal that the government promised. And there are large areas of our economy, for example, financial services, where there aren't clear elements within this deal, where much more work will need to be done very speedily by the Conservative government in order to ensure that we keep jobs in the UK.
Despite its concerns, Labour has said it will back the agreement in a vote in Parliament on Wednesday to prevent a no-deal exit from the single market and customs union after Thursday. The SNP will vote against it. Brexiteer Conservatives, led by the veteran MP Sybil Cash, are studying the detail of the 1,246-page treaty before deciding whether or not they will support it.
The chairman of Tesco, John Allen, has said he believes the deal with the EU will prevent significant price rises in supermarkets. He had predicted increases of between 3 and 5% in the event that both sides had failed to reach an agreement. Here's our business correspondent, Vivian Nunes.
Earlier this month, Tesco's chairman John Allen told the BBC a no deal could push up the price of French cheese by as much as 40%. Now, under the trade deal agreed with Brussels, import taxes on European goods have been ruled out. There will be more red tape, added form filling and possible delays at the border. Mr. Allen said that will have barely any impact on prices.
It should be very modest indeed. There'll be a little bit more administration associated with importing as well as exporting. In absolute terms, I think that will hardly be felt in terms of the prices that we seem to pay.
The consumer group Which said it was very positive that a deal had been struck that avoids tariffs and a significant disruption to the food supply, which might have driven up prices. But it added, as new trade deals are negotiated, the government must stick to its promises and maintain existing standards, so no food produced to a lower standard can be allowed to enter the UK market.
The government says it expects to renew tariff-free trading arrangements with Turkey this week. Under the existing deal, trade with Turkey was worth £18.6 billion to the UK last year. The International Trade Secretary, Liz Truss, said the new agreement would lock in the benefits of that relationship and provide certainty for thousands of jobs in the manufacturing, automotive and steel industries. Warner Brothers says its new Wonder Woman film took more than $16 million in the US box office on its opening weekend. The amount is about 1/6 of the corresponding figure for the previous film in the franchise, but is the highest opening weekend for any film in the US since the pandemic forced cinemas across the world to close. The studio says the number of hours watched on its HBO Max streaming service, which is also showing the film, was triple the average day last month. Sport now, and the Premier League leaders Liverpool were held to a draw in West Brom, while Wolves scored a late equaliser against Spurs. Rounding up all the action, here's Nick Hammond.
Liverpool missed out on the chance to move 5 points clear at the top of the Premier League as they were held to a 1-1 draw at home to relegation strugglers West Bromwich Albion. Despite dominating possession, Jurgen Klopp's side were unable to build on their early lead before West Brom equalised late on.
First half, we have to learn a little bit about what they are doing, because playing with 6 in the back very much and 4 up front, and nobody really for the counter-attacks there. It's something we need to get used to, but we did quite well. We scored a goal, we could have scored more, we had nice chances, it was all good. And if we play like this in the second half again, I think we stand here and we talk about 3 points for Liverpool, but we don't.
Well, the West Brom manager Sam Allardyce was in charge of the Crystal Palace side when they were at Anfield in 2017. That's the last time that Liverpool lost at home in the Premier League.
This is as good a result as I've got at Anfield. Everybody knows the last one I got was for Palace, which was a victory, and that was the last time they actually lost here in the league. To get a point here is just such a bonus for everybody, you know, such a bonus for the players particularly. They've shown great application while we've been here trying to show that they deserve a place in the side, and we're trying our very best to stay in the league.
Elsewhere, a late goal for Wolves denied Tottenham the chance to move up to third in the table. It finished 1-1 at Molineux. Brighton twice surrendered the lead to draw 2-2 at West Ham. That point moves Brighton up to 16th. West Ham stayed 10th. 2 points above Leeds, who moved up to 12th after beating Burnley 1-0 at Ellen Road. Away from football, Wasps beat Sale Sharks 26-23 in Rugby Union's Premiership. Wasps trailed 10-3 at half-time, but head coach Lee Blackett was happy with how they turned the game around.
Delighted with the result. It was a gritty one. First half probably wasn't how we planned, but second half I thought we were quite clinical when we got down there. With force of pressure, I thought the game was a lot better second half. I thought they probably dominated the field position first half, but I thought second half we were a lot better.
And finally, Britain's Andy Murray has been given a wild card for February's delayed Australian Open tennis.
Nick Hammond reporting. Now a glance at the front pages of the morning papers, and a warning by senior doctors that the NHS is in danger of being overwhelmed. The number of coronavirus patients in hospital about to exceed the peak in the first wave of the pandemic is the lead for the Times. Doctors in London have said their hospitals are beginning to resemble a war zone with paper hands. The Telegraph and the Mail report that an army of more than 10,000 medics and volunteers has been recruited by the NHS to help deliver the Oxford vaccine once it's approved this week. The Telegraph has learned that teams are trained and are ready to begin giving the jab at sports stadiums and race courses across the country, with a target of vaccinating 1 million people each week. A government source tells the Mail the vaccine is the way to make us safe and get us through this pandemic. We are throwing the kitchen sink at him. The Express, the Mirror and the Sun also lead with the prospect of the Oxford vaccine being rolled out soon. Will be free by February, the Express headline declares. A shot at freedom is the Mirror's version. The headlines again. BBC News has learned that the ambulance service in London received one of its highest daily totals of 999 calls on Boxing Day, which it blames on the rapid spread of the new variant of coronavirus. Nurses, the elderly, and at least 2 prime ministers have been vaccinated against COVID-19 at the start of a coordinated program across the European Union. The Chancellor has said the City of London should feel reassured by the UK's new trading relationship with the European Union, although Boris Johnson has acknowledged the deal may not go as far as he would have liked on financial services. And Tesco has said any changes in food prices after the new year will be very modest and hardly felt by shoppers. BBC News.
Read by Vigi Alice. And now the weather, and it's set to stay cold over the next few days, with northerly winds dominating across the UK. There'll be plenty of dry weather and sunny spells, but showers too, some of which will be wintry. During the rest of the night, eastern Scotland and eastern England will be predominantly dry with clear spells. There'll There'll be a few wintry showers, especially in coastal areas, and isolated freezing fog patches are possible. Western Scotland, Northern Ireland, Wales, the Midlands and the western half of England will see more cloud with some showery rain, sleet and snow, which could give a covering of snow even at low levels, but more especially over the hills. It will stay windy in the west. It will be cold, with temperatures falling several degrees below freezing for many. This will bring the risk of ice on untreated surfaces. Looking ahead to Monday, Wales, the West Midlands and southern England will have the chance of rain or snow, with accumulating snow possible in places even at fairly low levels. Eastern and northern England will see a mix of sunny spells and scattered wintry showers. Eastern Scotland can expect some coastal showers, but with dry and largely sunny conditions inland. Western Scotland and Northern Ireland will be predominantly cloudy and fairly windy, with sporadic outbreaks of rain, sleet and snow continuing through the day. Temperatures will stay below average for the time of year, with maximum values of between 2 and 7 degrees Celsius. The wintry showers will continue for coastal districts during Tuesday and Wednesday, but many inland spots will be dry with some sunny spells. It will stay cold for all, with the risk of frost and ice at night. Next on Radio 4, Laurie Taylor's in a conspiratorial mood with Thinking Aloud.
At the roundabout, take the first exit.
Hello. We're accustomed to popular music chronicling the known evils of the contemporary world: poverty, racism, injustice. But how interesting to discover a Canadian jazz band that has chosen to place a new, escalating international phenomenon at the heart of an entire album. Darcy James argued big band with The Enemy Within, just one of the 13 tracks devoted to America's current paranoid obsession with conspiracy theories. And this startling jazz album was recorded well before the escalation of the COVID virus unleashed a whole new wave of conspiracy theories. Take your pick. Bill Gates was somehow the instigator because back in 2015 he thought the world was not prepared for the next pandemic. Or, in another version, the virus was spread by the development of 5G technology. Or it was engineered in a Chinese laboratory by villainous scientists.
Turn right.
But we begin today by examining an online conspiracy
that
has a quite different paranoid concern at its root. The belief that a group of shadowy elites knows the cabal is trafficking children for satanic rituals. Well, how is it that such an extravagant theory has gained any sort of acceptance? From where does it draw its ardent supporters? Questions for my first guest. She's Annie Kelly, a researcher of the digital far right and author of a recent New York Times article entitled Mothers for QAnon. Annie, I've just provided a very, very basic explanation of this QAnon phenomenon. Is there anything you want to add to my description? Flesh it out a little.
I think one thing I would add is the QAnon conspiracy theories centering around Donald Trump in particular, who is nearly always configured as a kind of hero of sorts who is battling the cabal, sometimes known as the deep state, against this kind of new world order conspiracy theory.
So what does the Q in this mean?
Q was a poster who posted on the image board, which is pretty obscure, called 4chan, originally claiming to be a top military intelligence officer who was working with Trump to defeat the cabal.
Q is the person writing cryptic messages to the movement's followers.
Yes, exactly.
Now, in August, you attended a Freedom for the Children rally in London, one of hundreds around the world. The London gathering was just one of 10 rallies held across the UK. There were events in Birmingham, Bristol and Manchester. And when you attended, you noticed a high degree of attendance by women, often with their children. So tell me a little bit more about these people, the attendees, who they were, and what was their relationship to QAnon.
Yeah, I was really struck by how many women were at the